Hi there. I just want to talk with you briefly about your opportunity to audition for the SCDBA District Honor Band. This is an opportunity for 7th and 8th graders who are feeling like they would like a musical challenge. So underneath this video, you'll find a link to the page with all of the requirements for auditions. However, if you're ever needing to get back to that page, it is located on our Canvas homepage. You see right down here, it says check the District Honor Band page if you are interested in auditions. So let's check it out. Students who may feel more advanced and are looking for a musical challenge should consider preparing the SCDBA District Honor Band material. Before you move forward with the materials below, please read this very important letter in order to understand the audition process and requirements. So I'd like to point out a couple of things that are on the letter that are really important. It outlines the date and the location of the auditions. However, note down here in bold, auditions may happen virtually through the use of pre-recorded submissions. Definitive audition procedures will be communicated as soon as SCDBA releases further details to the band directors. All right, but for now, the plan is that the auditions will take place on January the 9th, rather that be an in-person audition or a virtual pre-recorded audition. In the middle, it outlines what the audition materials are. Instrument-specific solo, percussionists would select either mallets, timpani, or snare drum. 6 major scales and the full range chromatic scale, or rudiments for the snare drum, and a sight reading example. So I'll talk about what all of those things are in just a moment. Know that all of these requirements could be challenging. However, we really encourage those who are looking for a challenge and who are feeling more musically advanced, and even those who might be taking private lessons, to give this opportunity a try. Although you don't have to take private lessons to do it, it is something that helps. Professional recordings will be made available with the audition material as well once we have access to those. The audition commitment form must be filled out by all students who wish to participate and be submitted at marvinridgebands.org. So registration is now open and it closes on November the 20th. All you got to do is visit the website, marvinridgebands.org, ask your parents to log into their account, and then there is a link on the homepage where they can pay your registration fee of $10 and get you registered for the auditions so that we can register you at the district level. Okay, this is due by November the 20th. However, before you register online, I highly encourage you to take a look at the audition material so that you know whether or not this is something that you feel like you can do. All right. So after reading over the letter, use the links below to access the audition material. There's a sight reading note here. Sight reading is a process where you're given a certain amount of time to review a very short new piece of music and use your musical skills in order to play it to the best of your ability within that time frame. So there's a requirements list for sight reading. This gives you an idea of things you might see in the sight reading example. So make sure you're only looking at the top for middle school. The other sections are for 9th and 10th grade and 11th and 12th grade. So the key signatures, it gives you an idea of those. These are the time signatures that you might see. These are the rhythms that you might see. All right. So these are things that you would want to feel comfortable with for the sight reading process. When you are working on sight reading, I encourage you to read anything you can get your hands on. So if you have extra music books at home, we now have access to Practice First, which has a ton of stuff that you can play and read. Really anything that you have never seen before, play it. And that gives you a lot of really good practice. If this is something you decide to do, we'll talk with you more about those specific requirements and how that will work on audition day. but that gives you a little bit of an idea of what that process is like. Then in the chart, there is an outline for each instrument with a link to your specific solo. Eventually, we will have a solo recording that is usually provided to us through Western Carolina. Once we get those, that will be linked there so you can hear what it should sound like. And then there's a link to your scale sheet. So let's take the flute, for example. This is the flute solo, and it says both pages. So flute players need to prepare both pages of this solo. You would not necessarily play both pages on your audition day. However, that is something that we don't really know until that happens. So you're asked to prepare both pages. Note that for other instruments, there are different requirements. So pay close attention to those. For your scale sheet, you'll notice that the scales are all in a 8th note, 16th note pattern with a triplet rhythm for the arpeggio. Now, some of these things are things that we have not talked about if you are in the 7th grade quite yet. However, a good way to work towards this goal of a full range scale is to use your Technique Tuesday page, use that website, work up the 8th note sections of each of those scales. All 6 of them are there. And then you're able to transfer that into the 16th note pattern. Again, this is something that we can help you with if you decide that you want to audition for all district band. The chromatic scale is also something that would be new to you, most likely new to you, and something that we could work through as well. Okay, we have some different techniques to help you with that depending on what your instrument is. All right, so please take a look at all of the audition material. If this is something that interests you, let us know if you would like some assistance. We'll try to set up some ways to work with you both when you're on campus or virtually if you are at home. And we look forward to hearing from you. All right. Registration is due by November the 20th, and membership toolkit, I believe, was that the date? Yes. November the 20th in membership toolkit. Once you have a chance to look through the material and think about the amount of time that you are able to spend and what help you would need, you can register there. Again, reach out to us if you have questions, and we'll be glad to assist you.